Okay, sunny and breezy today. And what did I read today? I was keeping updated with what's going on with that Mars helicopter from NASA. From the sounds of it, they let it go and it survived, I guess, the cold temperatures so far. It says here, safe and sound surface. Our Ingenuity Mars helicopter survived the first cold night on its own, a major milestone on the red planet. And they're saying how it's a huge milestone just because of the temperature, minus 90 degrees Celsius anyways, according to them. And it says, in the days to come, Ingenuity will be the first aircraft to attempt powered controlled flight on another planet. This is the first time that Ingenuity has been on its own on the surface of Mars. We now have confirmation that we have the right insulation, the right heaters, and enough energy in its battery to survive the cold night, which is a big win for the team. Apparently it did take pictures too initially. It says the Ingenuity Mars helicopter took the images with its color camera from beneath the Perseverance rover after the rover had deployed the rotorcraft to the surface of Mars. And it says the image was taken on April 3rd, 2021. Not much to see other than, I guess, rocks and stuff, but it's kind of cool just to see the progress and all that. So only a few more days and this thing will actually try to take flight and I guess try to capture more pictures. But I guess back down to Earth with things like drones, I think I mentioned before, it'll be kind of funny where initially, right now, a lot of people fear-monger drones, tech and all that, but watch when authority figures or something like that start using it, then all of a sudden it's okay. That's kind of what I got from reading this. It seems like police forces are trying to encourage the public that drones are good, I guess at least for them to use it. It says here, Las Vegas police explore drone technology, new uses for safety and taxpayer savings. They are sworn to protect, serve, and fly. 13 Investigates was given a rare inside look at the small drone program within the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, making a big difference to document crimes and someday even save lives. The drone program is in its infancy for Las Vegas police. Currently, the unit is typically called upon to document crime scenes in the air, typically homicide scenes and deadly car crashes. On occasion, the drones are called in for critical incidents such as police officer-involved shootings or SWAT operations. And with that, it's kind of interesting because it almost sounds like they're fear-mongering traditional manned helicopters. It says, CUP says the use of drones can cut down on the danger for both officers on the ground and in the air. Anytime you put an air crew up in the aircraft, there are in-air emergencies that happen from time to time, and as a police department, we're not immune to that. Every time an air crew goes up, there's some level of risk that is presented, not only to the pilots, but in the event of an emergency, any collateral damage for people and citizens that are on the ground should have that aircraft come down. The bottom line, unexpected incidents can happen. Our helicopters weigh in excess of 3,500 pounds. There's probably 60 gallons or more of jet fuel on board, and there are large metal rotors flying around. CUP says the unmanned aerial systems keep air crews out of the harm's way. And then they talk about costs. When you consider it takes approximately $400 plus an hour to operate the helicopter compared to $5 to $10 an hour, depending on which drone aircraft we're operating, the economics of it makes sense very quickly. So isn't that, I guess, interesting? Now there's one saying it's more efficient in many cases, depending on what you're doing. It could be cheaper, so why not, right? It's just kind of funny, like I said, it was predictable that would happen when authority figures or whoever officials start using it, then all of a sudden it changes. And this actually makes me think too, because as I mentioned, here in Canada anyways, it seems like a lot of these regulations, all they did is create things like fake gurus and stuff like that. I even had business people tell me it was crazy where they pay, let's say, hundreds or thousands of dollars for a course, and then when they do things like take the test, it's not even related in any way. And here they actually say, CUP admits that drones have presented a bit of a learning curve. The technology is so new, the department developed the training in-house, creating a ground school for detectives to learn how to fly the drones. The operation oftentimes requires flight over dense areas such as neighborhoods, around power lines, and other obstacles. My first thought is, it's not exactly brand spanking new. This stuff has been around for a long time. It's just that it's been more adopted by mainstream people just because of the ease of use for some drones that are out nowadays. And it just makes me think too, again, in terms of flying the drone and all that, it is kind of new for a lot of people, but at the same time, just reading all this stuff about clouds and hypoxia, they don't actually teach people how to fly. And unfortunately, that's kind of the market and industry that's been created, like here in Canada anyway, just people selling $100 courses and all that. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous where some people, they never even flown it before or not much, and that yet they're the ones teaching people how to fly. Honestly, for myself, in terms of learning to fly the drone, most of it, in terms of the skill set, I learned just from playing video games. Because the skill is so transferable, it's almost virtually the same thing in terms of things like the controllers and all that. Doesn't that make you think too, where like here, officials are relying more on hands-on experience because to them it's too new and no one's really teaching you how to like fly and all that. Maybe that explains why they didn't crash into helicopters, huh? Alright, see you guys later.